very good place to set my camera. I wanted to take this old girl for a little spin. It's been a year. It's been a year. Just about a year exactly since I've been able to drive this truck. And this truck's like a mother to me. I mean, I've had this truck for 26 years. I think we figured out. About as long as I've had Victor, my foreman. Anyway, a little disappointment going on here with the body work, that got done on it after the wreck, but I'm not going to let it ruin my day, and I'm not going to let it consume me, and I'm going to quit talking about it and just get it fixed whatever it takes. I'll give the guy a chance to do what's right. If he don't, I'll do what's right, and that's what we try to do and move on. So life's good. I'm very, very blessed to have a piece of old iron and American automotive history such as this is. It's not that old, not as old as some of my rigs, but it's kind of dear to my heart. I've just had it so long. It's been a good old truck. I drove it back and forth to California for many, many years in my business, and I remember pulling into the ranch one time, and these guys are farming thousands of acres, and they got real deep pockets, and they buy a whole new fleet of brand new trucks every year. And at that particular time, they had a whole fleet of those WT white pickups, Chevy pickups, work trucks. And this one guy, he was a little bit more aloof than most farmers, and I come pulling in this old truck, and he looked at it and he said, "What's the same old truck you had down here last year?" I said, "Yeah, boy, it'll be the same one I have down here next year too." So I just keep driving this thing. Runs really good, runs out real strong. It's got a brand new 4-bolt main engine in it, and it's the one the cam went flat on shortly after we put that motor in. There's some claims about the zinc and the oil, maybe it caused that or lack of zinc, but I run the right stuff in it, to not have that happen again, if that were the cause. We don't know, but preventive maintenance. So yeah, I think I'm gonna run this old girl into town and see how she does. Maybe I'll even make it back home, who knows. Thanks for riding along and listening to my carrying on about first one thing and another. Life's good. It's all good. Boy, I do love this old truck. She just purrs right along and shifts out real nice and smooth. Got a turbo 400 in it. It had a 4-speed in it when I got it, and something was misaligned, and I kept going through clutches every year. I'd put a clutch in it. The throw-up bearing would hang up on the input shaft, and something just wasn't quite right. And that happened over and over, and I'd break things off, and the lever goes between the bell housing and the frame. I kept breaking that bolt off where that hinges on the frame, and I drove it home more than once from California, just having to start it in gear. But at that time it had a granny low in it. It wasn't no big deal. You just start up gear and then just, a double clutch, well, you didn't use a clutch, but you just shifted without a clutch. Get the RPMs just right, let off of it and shift it. I've done that more than once. It got to be just no big deal. Sometimes that clutch would go to the floor and just stay there. But I cured that one time. I was in California on business, lining up work and whatnot. The guy that worked for me at the time, pretty good mechanic, and when I came home, that 4-speed was gone, and this thing had a turbo 400 and a Hurst slapstick shifter in it, and that was 20 years ago or better. And boy, it's never failed me. Just never let me down. That shifter's still working great. Also along about that time, 20 plus years ago, I put an electronic ignition on it. And, you know, a distributor in it. I've never touched it. Just never touched it. Never let me down. So, yeah, I'm going to go, I want to put some gas in this thing. It's Sunday, so I can't go to the bank and take out a loan and get money to fill it up. You know, if it's a weekday, I could mortgage my property and maybe get enough money to fill it up. But since how it's Sunday, I'll just have to put a little dab in it. This thing's got 2 tanks on it. One's a 25 gallon, one's closer to 30, 28 or something like that. It's got a big tank. You know, I used to drive it from here in Central Washington, California. I fill up once on the way. But man, I can't imagine what it's going to cost me to fill up both tanks today. They only let you a credit card run up to about 75 bucks. I'm sure I'd have to run it up more than twice to get the thing full. So, but boy, yeah, it's my baby. I sure love that old rumble that those things got. Funny how you get attached to this old iron. It gets in your blood. Mine anyway. Thanks for riding along.